A ghost is following the 7th grader to have him to run his aircraft and reveal his secrets in front of the world. The story starts with Yuri, who is introduced as an excellent aircraft designer. He has designed and developed a very modernistic aircraft named YG-1. One day he is out to test drive the airplane since he plans to showcase the plane to the world during the Russian air show. He was quite positive that the Russian government will definitely be impressed by this model and will therefore hand him the tender to manufacture the model. He was just taking off for the test drive with his friend Gina when they got a message from the headquarters. They are notified that a reporter named Alyssa has surpassed the security to take Yuri's interview. After hearing the message, Yuri kicks off Gina out of the plane and takes Alyssa inside. Here we get to know that Yuri has an affair with Alyssa. He has had affairs with multiple girls, aside Alyssa. The plane takes off with Yuri flying it and Alyssa in. They soon get a message from the headquarters. The officials remind him that it is illegal to fly a plane without a co-pilot. His wife, Lena, also arrives to the headquarters and gets in line with Yuri and asks him what's going on. She hears Alyssa from behind and questions if he is alone. Yuri denies anyone's presence and cuts the line. A close call to hell, I guess. Afterward, he starts approaching Alyssa, flirts with her, and kisses her. Then he attaches a parachute bag to her body and pushes her off the plane. Alyssa somehow lands safely in a place, and meanwhile Yuri also lands his plane. In the next scene, we see the 7th grader Vanya, who is one of those teenagers who is ignored by everyone, who is bullied in school and tormented by mean comments. He is also affected deeply by his overprotective mother. We are also introduced to his love interest, Pauline. As he tries to talk to her, some kids get into bullying him again. The scene shifts to Yuri, who is spending a good time with his friends. He is talking about his airplane when his rival arrives to the party. There is an intense tension between them as conversations keep going on. Soon they challenge each other for a game of chess, but instead of the usual board pieces, they are using drinks to play. Every time Yuri keeps losing and ultimately gets highly drunk. He gets out of the bar and finds his wife, who is here to escort him, but he refuses to go with her. He wants to drive himself, and so he takes Gina's car instead. Under the influence of alcohol, he calls Alyssa to catch up, and then, as he is not attentive towards the road, he gets into an accident. Ultimately, he wakes up in the hospital where he spots his wife, Lena. He follows her, but she doesn't listen. He keeps saying sorry to her, thinking that she might be angry because of his behavior. He is shocked that she is not responding at all. Lena stops at Yuri's office. Yuri makes his way to his office and finds a couple making love in the conference hall. He yells at them to stop. Seeing that they are not even noticing him, he tries to separate them physically, but to his shock, he is not able to hold them. He finds that he cannot touch anything at all and that his body just passes through any object or anyone. He also passes through walls. At the office, he takes a look at the TV. The news of his death is being reported on the media outlets. He attends his own funeral. He sees all of his friends and mainly his rival, who is surprisingly present at his funeral. After the funeral, his rival approaches Lena to ask her to drop the tender request. Lena leaves the conversation saying she will think about it. On the other hand, Yuri is confused about his situation and is unable to believe that he is actually dead. He goes onto the middle of the road and stands in front of the cars passing by. Much to his surprise, they pass through him, but he is left unhinged. Meanwhile, Vanya is in his school. The bullies broke his cycle's brakes. Later, he takes out his cycle to get back home. On the way, he realizes that the brakes are not working anymore. Unable to stop his cycle, he is screaming at the top of his lungs, and then he clashes with Yuri. Yuri catches him and saves him from falling. Yuri is shocked as to how he could stop the boy if everything else just passes through him instead. When Vanya said sorry, Yuri explains that he is shocked as to how the boy is able to talk and touch him because he is a ghost. Vanya is freaked out and runs away, but Yuri follows him. Vanya gets on the bus where Yuri catches up to him, but the bus passes through him and he leaves Vanya away. Terrified by everything, Vanya gets off the bus and rushes towards his room only to find Yuri, who followed him to his house. Yuri tries to explain everything, but Vanya is not in the mood to listen to him. He yells at Yuri to leave. Ultimately, his mother walks in on him yelling. A terrified Vanya tries to explain her that he saw a ghost. She thinks he is emotionally disturbed right now, so she takes him to a psychiatrist. He concludes that he is just deeply affected emotionally by any incident that he is unable to get over. Yuri did follow Vanya there, as he did not lose hope that he might be the one who can save his project and 10 years for his hard work. Later, he helps Vanya with his classes and expects him to help him in return, to which Vanya agrees. As the scene shifts, they are seen visiting the headquarters to attend the airshow meeting. Yuri is shocked when he realizes that his rival has put his project forward for the air show and has dismissed Yuri's project. He also bribed Alyssa to make negative statements about Yuri drinking while flying the airplane. He asked Vanya to speak on his behalf, but he got nervous because of the crowd. He was soon taken out of the room. Yuri is very disappointed with all of this. The next day, Vanya is seen practicing dance in the school, and the other students are making fun of him and bullying him for no reason. He is angry but gives up instead. Just then, Yuri visits him and then starts talking to him patiently. At this point, they both understand that they need each other's support, and Vanya is the only one who can help Yuri with the project. In return of Vanya's favor, Yuri promises that he will help him get close to Pauline. Soon enough, Yuri taught him to make good conversations with girls, and as expected, it worked. Pauline excitedly talks to him and asks him to come to his birthday party. In the birthday party, Vanya clicks a beautiful picture of her and she gets happy. Seeing her excited, Vanya could not resist and kisses her. She is outraged immediately and slaps him. He is heartbroken. Later that evening, Yuri takes him to the airport, where YG-1 is being kept. They enter the plane. Suddenly, they hear a truck outside. Yuri takes a look and realizes that his rival, Paul, has sent a truck to take away the plane and demolish it, so there's no traces left. Yuri couldn't see his hard work going to waste, so with Vanya's help, he starts the engine and takes it away to a safe place. Later, he asks Vanya to call Gina. They decide to meet at the school. The next day, Gina visits Vanya, where he explains the whole situation to him. Yuri being a ghost talking through Vanya is strange enough for him, but he feels it is believable since there are some facts in it. Yuri was shortly going to give him an important message, but he stops as he feels that Gina has already fallen for Paul's words and is now working for him, since Paul promised to make him a head in his company. Just then, Yuri tells Vanya to run away, but Gina stops him forcibly. Somehow he manages to lock himself inside the bathroom. Vanya now repeats every word Yuri is saying to make Gina realize all the efforts they made together for this project. In return, Gina yelled at Yuri, saying that he is just a womanizer who is self-centered. He regrets that he worked with him, because of which he never got a chance to go ahead in his work. While he is yelling at Yuri, a woman enters the bathroom. Vanya gets a chance to escape and runs away. While Gina is searching for him, he hides outside the window and is on the verge of falling. Just then, the paramedics team arrive and urge him to jump on the safety net held down. He is afraid of heights, and so he denies. Pauline comes to the rescue and announces that she actually loves him and that he should come down. She also promised to be his dance partner in the upcoming party. He gets down and is now enjoying his newfound confidence. But he does not know that Pauline was just confessing it because she wanted him to get down, but in reality she has no feelings for him. The scene shifts and we see Yuri training Vanya so they can fly YG-1 and make the project successful. Meanwhile, Vanya's mother gets hold of the fact that Vanya has been skipping school frequently, so she locks him in his room. However, he wants to attend the party and training later. So he made a rope out of clothes and jumped out of his window. He then goes to the party only to find Pauline with another guy. Okay, a huge shock moment for this poor guy. As he asks the reason, he gets to know that Pauline lied that day. He is again heartbroken, so he leaves the place and decided to help Yuri with all his heart. Yuri and Vanya went down to the secret place where they kept their plane, YG-1. With the given instructions by Yuri, Vanya is able to take off. They rush towards the air show and everyone there is shocked at the sight. They land the plane right there. Reporters keep bugging Vanya around. Gina also realizes his mistakes and promises to join Vanya instead. This time truthfully. It was time for Yuri to go. He thanks Vanya to support him and make his project successful. They share a very emotional moment as they finally decide to let go. Yuri walks away. In the final scene, we see Pauline approaching Vanya, asking him to forgive for her mistakes. She confesses that she wishes to be with him. Vanya agrees and they walk away happily. The story ends here.